Hello everyone, welcome back to Every Degree Matters. I am your host Saffran. We got an exciting week just ended in Davos. The World Economic Forum just happened. World leaders, business leaders, a lot of people, young people were there talking about how they wanted to move. This year's dialogue was Spirit of Dialogue. That was the theme of this year of in Davos. We saw the Europeans align together and backlash on Trump. We saw Canada backlash on America. We also have a lot of things. JD Vance said he was in in Minneapolis trying to calm down the situation. We saw Jamie Dimon calling out that the immigration process could be better, and we also saw for the first time the Indiana college football team won. It was amazing, and we also have how the world is going to move, especially within America, how it's going to get impacted with tariffs and everything. So let's dive in for today's topic.
And you wanna write it down? Would it kill you just to listen? And you wanna sell it out with the words out of your position. Hold on. And you wanna see the break of dawn. Brush your hair back from your face. You won't see me when
Thanks for joining, everyone. So, for the first topic, I want to talk about is Davos. Davos has been huge for the very first time since 1945, the post World War. The whole world is thinking about how they wanted to move, how the dynamics have changed. Is United States the leader of the free world, or will there be an emerging leader of free world? It could be Canada, it could be China. There was so much speculations happening. Did Donald Trump go and disrupt Europe, or did he unite Europe? That's the other thing I would say. I strongly feel President Trump, went and united the Europe, because Europe was little bit was Canada around, and they have stepped up with NATO. They came together, and Canada was surprisingly was so straight at him. And Carney gave a great speech, in my belief, that openly saying that the new world order is not the old world order, and where the middle power have to rise. He said that was fantastically pointing it out where the West is leading towards. And then we saw a global shift at Davos. This is the 56th annual World Economic Forum. We saw a lot of movement towards AI safety. People were talking about how, because now AI is leveling up. That's what I see. Like, it's not going up faster as we saw in the couple of last 2 years. We also saw that Emmanuel Macron saying that we prefer respect to bullies, and he also said he invited China to Europe. That was like, wow, that China could fit. This is what we are creating. We are creating a vacuum, and then anyone could fill in that space, and it could be China, and that's a very big disaster for the West. We have to be really careful. But on the other hand, if America is not stable on its global policies or in international aspects, especially the tariff and everything, people will be very scared to do business with us. Let's say, like, next year or next president who comes in says, okay, you know what, we are not going to have any tariff. We're going to get back to normal. So there will be 8 years of normalcy. And who knows, another person could come up with. So people can't, it's going to be really hard if we have an unbalanced tariff that, like, not a stable economy outside, like how we wanted to do business, how America wants to be deal with. I do see the point where President Trump is making, that we have been used since the World War II. Yes, we created that situation, and now it has backfired on us, and that has led to a $40 trillion debt to us, which is crazy. For a country like America, we should be able to pay it off. People are paying more money what they used to pay. Like yesterday, I saw a video where a dollar in 2002 is now only worth $55. Crazy. So there is a 30-45% of decrease in valuation of dollar. So the dollar is getting weaker and weaker. We printed more money during COVID. That led to so much of disaster in terms of how the strong dollar. And then we also took the gold standard. So that's what happens when you take the gold standard, especially we had a lot of gold, so we will be able to, have that as a standard when you print money. That's how it was, and it was gone in the late in the 70s or 60s, soon after JFK was assassinated. So what I feel is that Davos, we saw a lot of great different things at Davos. We saw world leaders coming together, especially the European ones, and then we also saw NATO Secretary General Mark Nutt saying that we have because of Donald Trump, we were able to increase our GDP investment of into NATO from 1.5 to 2%, and that's a great thing. So he has united the Europe. I saw a good collective front in Greenland to protect Greenland and to respond. And President Trump backed out of it. I don't know why he did that. I feel like he wanted to get attention. I feel like he wanted to see everybody was listening what he wanted to say. Like maybe because of that. And then I was just it was just a little bit too much to see that. I love Trump's policies and everything. Yeah, but on this case, he just what do you call swing back the stock market crashed on Friday or Saturday last week, and then it went back, like it was up and back and forth and back and forth, and he just made it worse. Like this, the market has to be stable, which is crazy when you look at a broader picture in United States, especially in the last 1 year. The economy has been going back and forth. So I mean, the stock market and the cryptocurrency just collapsed. It's recovering, but why would you do that? Like, why would be that reason for you to do that? I don't know. I mean, if President Trump is listening to this, I don't know why. I mean, I understand you like attention, but you have to be careful of how you put a lot of people in danger. And that will also lead to losing the midterms. Don't forget, speaking, what do you call, as part of the whole, what do you call, generationally, or like as this, I mean, it's not generationally, where you see by de facto when the president's party loses power in the first after 2 years. But this time we might also lose the Senate, which will be crazy if they lose the Senate to the Democrats. And they're also coming back hard on Trump, saying that blah blah blah. We saw our governor Newsom going out and talking shit about the president. I didn't like that. He can talk whatever he wants within America, but going out and talking a different scolding out the president is really bad. But he did point out that the European leaders need to stand up. Like they also have to stand up. I feel like you can't be always bullied by United States. But at the same time, you have to be able to also give it back to United States. You don't know who's going to rule the country, right? So I mean, this all they said. Macron's speech was amazing. Ursula von der Leyen, she's the president of the EU. She said it's a new Europe. It's more pessimistic and optimistic to have more partners created, which is really crazy. And Carney just said the rule based world order no longer exists, which is crazy. And that also led to you know President Trump, what do you call, having this debate of how he wanted to proceed forward with the Greenland's tariff, with getting Greenland. So he said he's not going to put forces in Greenland. I mean, he knows that if he put forces on Greenland, that will be the beginning of the end of NATO, and he knows he needs NATO because America can protect itself, but it's also not about protection. It's also about intelligence gathering, and if you lose the whole of Europe in that aspect, it will be a big disaster. So at the same time, there's been a lot of debate that's centered around the U.S. What Trump also addressed that they're planning to. He also talked about that the United States will be the economic engine of the planet, arguing that when America thrives, the whole world does. So the boost, what do you call it? Trump boosted about domestic policies. I mean, Trump ranted about how some of the ways, like whatever. I mean, he said $200 in mortgage buy-up that happened. He said that the interest rates are low. He said that America will be there. I agree on that. Crypto capital of the world, crypto center. He also said that the core of national security interest will be, I mean, what do you call organizing with Greenland. So it's classic Donald Trump, and I didn't like when he called out other world leaders. He shouldn't have. Maybe he should have been respectful, but that's Donald Trump. You can't say anything, and I mean a lot of people like for him to be who he is. And she said that the EU leader, the EU president Ursula Wonderland said that what do you call? We have a united Europe. He also said that Europe has to hold the Greenland will hold its sovereignty, and then also pushing on Arctic security investment because Denmark is not investing on Arctic security. It's United States who's investing in Greenland. So it all makes sense for us to own it, but it's also not forcefully taking it, but rather buying it would be the best ideal option. We also had China stress that tariffs and trades war hurted the global economy. Yes, they did. People don't understand. I'm once again repeating this. 96% of the tariffs are burned by us, consumers. It's burned by you and me. That's what people don't understand. That it's not about outside. It's you and me who own the tariff. We pay the money. We pay the stuff. When someone is importing something for $1, and then if someone is importing and now he has to pay $1.25, then which is really crazy. So then what he's going to do is sell that product for $2.25. So we as consumers are going to pay the tariff cost. And they say like, oh, 200 billions of money. The 200 billion that they generated are the money from the savings of Americans, which we won't be able to spend on buying clothes or buying houses. You don't know. So that's the ridiculously stupidest thing. What do you call it? President Trump did on tariff. I'm completely disagreeing with it because what happens. Do you think companies will reduce the price or keep the same price? No corporate, maybe 10% of the corporate will say, okay, you know what, let's take the hit on the tariff. No, they don't. And they put it back on the people. And we have to understand how it's impactful that you voted for him or you didn't vote for him. We all pay that price, which is really high. And I see a lot of pundits talking about, oh, this is a great thing. This is not a great thing. Tariff is really a big disaster. We pay for it. If you are rich in the top 5%, good. But how about the 85%? How about the 95%? Who's going to pay for them? Like, who is going to pay? And that's what everything is going to hit back so hard, and which is a big mistake they did, and they're going to lose the what do you call, the midterm election, which is I'm really sad, but it is going to happen. I hope they don't lose the Senate. If they lose the Senate, that's it. And President Trump will be, as they always call it, a lame duck president the last 2 years. And I don't know what's going to happen in the last 2 years. And also, we had great speech from our leader, Elon Musk was there, and he emphasized on a lot of things where he what do you call he talked about AI, he talked about robotics. He also said that there'll be a lot of humanoid robots, in the next in 2030, 2032. He also said that he might go to Mars if he can only come back. So that's like a funny thing he said. He said to be so Elon also said that to be optimistic, to be also be on the right side of the history and fail rather than being on the wrong side of the history. I really liked what he said. So in conclusion, what happened in Davos, it was you can see that how what do you call it's an awakening call for Davos, for the world leaders. It was an awakening call. So to see how it was more fragmented world, we saw it was a confrontational era we are living in, which is crazy. Donald Trump has faced, he framed that the United States is a powerhouse, yada, yada, yada. I don't know how that's going to play out, but the whole world woke up and said, you know what, that's enough of bullying by United States, which is really sad. Like, I do like some of President Trump's tariffs and some of the policies that he has. on some goods that he said, we can do it over here, which was amazing. But it says that there was pressures on politics and weakened rules could this is what I fear. We could lead to a World War III if this madness continues, and that's what led to World War III, two and one and two. So we have to be really cautious of what we are doing, what we are saying. Americans have to wake up a lot. This is what I feel like, some of the aspects of Trump has to be stopped. And people are not stopping it. Everybody's going along with it. And thank God for the what do you call Supreme Court here. They said they just denied, they hopefully will deny the Trump's tariffs are legal. So that's a big blow for the party, for the mega movement. But anyway, so we also saw Carney, Canada shifted. Canada made deals with China, Qatar, and Japan. And then he also went to India. Amazing deals are happening. You're gonna listen, guys. I mean, Tesla people who love Tesla, you gotta listen to this. They are allowing to import 59,000 BYD cars. It was a big blow to United States and Tesla. That those cars are really good, and you guys just messed it up. We should have never gone to war with Canada. Canada has been our strongest ally, our best neighbor. You don't bully the neighbor, you work with the neighbor. We just went pam, 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 pam. We bullied them of buying into our state, becoming the 51st state. I know it's funny, but a lot of people can also get really angry about it. And I call out to all the Canadians, stand up for President Trump. I mean, he's bullying you guys in some instance, and you have to be like, Canada has to have, Americans are more patriotic. You also have to be more patriotic towards your country. Support what Carney is doing. He can fix a lot of things, and Canada can become an emerging economy. Canada can become a strong country that can also be a place where everybody can do business. You guys can do business with the United States at the same time, diversifying your business portfolio, which is a good thing. And I don't want to go, he said, Canada list because it's just a. We also saw UN hold an emergency session on human right on session on Iranian human rights crisis. This is other crazy part. Where are the protesters? Where are the people that were for Gaza? Blah blah blah. Nobody's there for Iranian people. Nobody's there for what's happening in Iran. This is just ridiculous. Like, I haven't seen, the reports coming out from Iran that 16,000 or more people have been killed, but I haven't seen college campuses erupt in the world. I haven't seen people, supporting Iran. Like, so it's so naive, and I would say it's so double standard. Or not double standard. I would say it's so pathetic to see you all only just support one side, not the other side. It's just so bad. So there's only human rights for the Palestinian people. There's no human rights for the people in Iran. So ridiculous. Don't ever go and have a protest in support of Palestine if you don't support what is happening. If you don't come and protest in for the voices of the people of Iran who are suffering right now in the Khomeini Ayatollah's regime, which is really, really crazy and sad. So I hope you guys, I don't know, it's just so double standard. Plus, anyways. So Senegal wins the African National Cup, which is the soccer, cup, which is a good thing. We also saw in the international space where fashion icon Valentino Galvani died at 83 years old. That was the global news that we had. So let's go back to the United States. Let's see what happened in the United States. We had a Wall Street had a free fall. I just spoke about it. We had a big free fall on the stock market because of Greenland tariff threats Trump did, which was a disaster. Shouldn't have done it. I don't know why he did it. It's just so pathetic to see some of those things happen. And Trump also pulled out the unthinkable, where he created a board of peace for Gaza. But this is the fantastic part, is that the big Western allies, they haven't joined. They don't think that aligns with the UN. On the other side, I don't know if UN still exists. I would put it this way. UN has more potential to do a lot of things, but those potential have been not unlocked. And we need a more rigorous what do you call restructuring of the UN. And also, Trump said that the Gaza peace, the peace board of Gaza, will also have the working with the UN. It's not a separate structure, and also possibly be the World Peace Board, and having to make sure the peace happens. The UN is more fractured. UN has to be fixed. There's a lot of broken system in the UN or multilateral processes that I see. And he has invited around 60 countries to join, and some have accepted, some haven't accepted. He fantastically, sarcastically, I don't know if it is real or not. He drove the invitation for Canada, and he never. I mean, people in also Canadians were also not even willing to join. So the British are out, the UK, the France said they will not get involved because it undermines the UN processes. And then we also have critics saying that he's asking for $1 billion, which was crazy, to join. Where the money that's been going? Will it come from America? Will it go for the administration's expense? You don't know about that modalities. A lot of people have joined, and Jared Kushner presented a beautiful plan to rebuild Gaza. But the funny part is there was nobody from Palestinian or Gaza part of the peace board, which is, I don't know how they're going to deal with that. We also saw Qatar, Saudis, and the Turks were there, so which was good, a good sign of having the peace board, and hopefully a lot of other countries, the Western Allies, haven't joined. I don't know. There's a lot of controversial on the membership, as I said, $1 billion, blah blah blah, and it's just really crazy. So as you all know, they had a Free America walkout around Trump's anniversary. On the 20th, we had activist group, going around, saying blah blah blah. This is America. You can say whatever you want. Do not incite violence. That's the First Amendment. And then also be careful. People will use the Second Amendment to protect from the First Amendment. So you have to be very careful. We also have a very good news that TikTok has finally reached a deal, and it will be owned by three US-based companies, and America will own 70, how many percent? 80% will be owned by the government, and then the rest of them will be owned by Oracle, Silver Lake, and MGX. Each will be holding around 15%, and then they will be holding also ByteDance. ByteDance will retain 19%. So, in nutshell, 80% of the TikTok stocks will be owned by American companies, not by America. That means by American-owned companies. So, which is a good thing. They finalized the deal. The joint venture, it's called Joint Venture LLC, was created, where it was satisfied by national security concern. So it's a good thing for all the TikTokers that were concerned that we will not have TikTok. There you go. It's still there. It still exists, and it will be fine. So we also then this is what I wanted to emphasize before we move into some of the madness that we went through, and which is like, I always say, going back on things that you have to be really careful on what we say and what we do, and hopefully everything will come aligning with the midterm. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. And then we also saw, I don't know, I was completely out, what do you call it, not sad about this, but it's just I didn't like it, where we saw what do you call it, Maria Corina Chada came and gave the Peace Prize. Corina Machada gave the Nobel Peace Prize for Donald Trump. I understand President Trump's really badly wanted it. I feel like if he would have not talked about it too much, he would have won it this year. Also, every time when they give the prize, it's always for the previous year. And I also feel like, why would Maria Corina Machada come and give the Nobel Peace Prize? So she doesn't like to have democratic elections and win the election? Now, I mean, I do understand that they will be having elections soon, so which she can contest in that election and win. So why is she trying to, if she's trying to get the blessings of Donald Trump, that's a different story. But is he using it to get being installed as the president in Venezuela without having elections? So where is the democratic process? So I feel like there is less support for. I don't like that approach. So you can just buy your presidency. You can just come and give the country that temporarily controls your territory forces, national security what is that whole process? I don't understand. So you can just go and okay, here is the gift for President Trump. Can you make me the president of my country? It's so weird. And you can get the endorsement. That's a different story. But it kind of, do you want to have her go and be what do you call, fetched into crowned as the president? That's not right. And I think it's a big mistake for Nobel Peace Prize to giving it to her. I don't think she deserved it. This is now, it's really clear she's not the person who deserved it. I don't think she likes democracy. If she likes democracy, she should say, I don't need President Trump's I don't need you can get his blessings. That's a different story. But I don't need to go and give something for my people to elect me if they have a national election. So it's a very, very bad thing. And I think Nobel Peace Prize Committee learned a big lesson for don't give the prize. So people are like this. Are they going to sell the prize to get something? That's so bad. Like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't do that. Like, yes, I would go and give something else for President Trump, but going and giving the Nobel Peace Prize, which you can't transfer or give it or whatever, or taken back. But it's just so sad and pathetic to see how such a world. I mean, if she's going to become the world leader, then she will get elected if they have an election. So, like, that's just a stupidest thing that she ever did. I don't know how the history will remember her. Again, guys, be cool. And once again, I wanted to say thanks for joining us on Every Degree Matters. You have to be really careful this week. We are having the Arctic blast, from New York to Louisiana to New Mexico. People are going to get really cold. So be careful. Over 230 million people are in threat. Be careful. Don't move out. Don't go out if you don't need anything to buy. Just be there because this Arctic blast will be there for till I think Monday or Tuesday next week. So be careful of what's happening around you guys for the warnings that they have. You know what? This is what I like California. People say like, whoa, why you're picking this lane? It's cold. It's not that cold. It's only like on the 60s. Perfecto. So I love this state. So which is amazing. People are saying, oh, California is going bad. Yeah, we will go back and forth. That's how California is. We will come back. The governor elections are coming out. Let's see who can be the best candidate from the Republicans or Democrats. You don't know. So it's all in a big question mark. That's been happening. So with that, stay warm, stay in your houses. If you don't want, please don't drive your cars if you really don't have to, because there's a lot of damages going to happen. Freezing ice, freezing streets. Please don't go out. Take care of your kids if they're young, and make sure they are jacket up and have warm clothes around, which is really good, which is something which is important. So once again, guys, thanks for joining Every Degree Matters. I'm your host, Saffran. We will see you next week.